Today on the Home Tip Show, we're going to show you how to test the soil in your garden or in your house, in your potted plants, for environmental light, soil moisture, soil pH, if there's enough fertilizer in the soil, and finally soil temperature. I got this meter off of Amazon. It's called the 7-in-1 soil kit or something like that, or soil monitor. I'll put a link to it in the video description. It comes with everything you see here. It comes with a pretty good manual. This is your meter here. It comes with 6 extra batteries. It takes 3, which came in it as well, so you got enough for 2 battery changes here. Comes with a little screwdriver that you need to loosen up this screw on the back here to change the batteries. And that's it. But it's pretty simple to use. We'll go out and we'll try it in the garden and see how it does.
So this is not a review of this particular meter, nor have I been compensated by the manufacturer or Amazon for producing this video. Instead, what I hope to do with this video is just simply showcase the types of measurements that you can achieve with a similar type meter, whether it be purchased at Amazon or AliExpress or Temu, wherever you might get your stuff. Okay, we're outside at one of our veggie gardens, and let's do a quick orientation to the meter. So right now it's on the light intensity reading, so it's actually looking through this sensor here on the top, and it's looking to see what the intensity is from the sun. And it's overcast right now, so it's reading about a 500. Normally this is, 1500 or so. So this is a really good location for us to put this garden. It's probably one of the most well-lit locations in our backyard. The next row down is the soil moisture gauge. So the one that has red on the left, green in the middle, and blue on the right. I don't have it in the ground yet, but we're going to hope for something in the green. When we put this in the ground, we switch to that setting. The next row down, third row down, is the alkalinity. As you can see, we want to be somewhere between a 4 and a 7 on the alkalinity, or the pH level. So to the left is more alkaline, to the right is more acidic. And then finally, the bottom section is what they call fertility. And it's really some reading that they're able to gather of how much fertilizer is in the soil. So let's go ahead and put it in. We're going to move it. We've got our light reading already. It doesn't have to be in the ground for a light reading, but we'll switch it to moisture. Okay, there's the moisture setting, and we'll put it in and we'll see what we end up with. You want to insert it into the ground about 3/4 of the way. Let's take a quick look. All right, so right now moisture it's reading about a 7. I think it's going to continue to drop. It may end up about a 6 or a 6.5. It's supposed to be in the ground for 1 to 3 minutes to actually get an accurate reading. Yeah, see, it's dropping a little bit. So but anywhere between a 3 and a 7. Because it is so moist, I will not water tonight, and I'll check it in the morning if it needs it. It may by then, but it looks real good. We're in the green. So let's switch to the fertilizer. Okay, we're switching over to the fertility setting, and looks like we're reading right in the middle of the green. So according to this gauge, it's looking good on fertilizer, which makes sense. About 2 days ago, I did fertilize this garden bed, and you want to give it, I would say, at least 2 to 3 days before you take that setting, or it may not register that you have ample fertilizer in. And the last thing you want to do is put more on top of it, trying to get that meter to move, because it takes a few days for the fertilizer to get down into the soil. So, but we're looking pretty good on fertilizer. We're right in the green. So let's switch to pH. All right, from a pH perspective, which is the third row down, we're right in the middle of the green. Not too alkaline, not too acidic, so that's good news. And then we'll switch to our final setting, which is going to take us to the lower gauge. This is the only setting that takes us to the lower gauge. The reading on the left is the air humidity, and the reading on the right is the temperature. So since it's in the soil right now, it's going to give us soil temperature. So it's bouncing around between 80 and 82. It really needs to be in the ground for a good 5 minutes to get an accurate soil temperature reading. If you want to get an air temperature reading, you just pull it out of the soil and clean off the end, and then it's going to take a temperature of the air. So you can see that it's dropped, or it's risen from 80 to 82. The longer it's in, it's going to be more accurate with its reading. Okay, so this meter is not going to be as scientifically accurate. It's not a certified reading. It's not going to be as accurate as what you get if you were to take a soil sample and send it into a lab. It's not intended to be that. There is some variability. What I do is to anytime I use this, I don't just sample one location. I'll take 3 or 4 samples around the garden. I'll write it in my logbook and kind of track it over time. What you're going to look for, or you're primarily going to use this meter for, is to get your moisture level, because that can absolutely determine if you're going to water or not. Too much water in a garden or houseplants can kill your plants. Not enough water can kill your plants. So moisture level is going to be your primary. The second most important reading that I take is the alkalinity, the pH level. And those are two things you want to be fairly you want to check that on a pretty regular basis. There are companies where you can take a soil sample and send it in. They average somewhere between $30 and $40, but it's a one-time use only. However, those companies provide you very, very accurate results in a certified lab usually. So, you might get 15 to 20 different readings, and they can then come back with, exactly what you need to do to the soil to make it more able to grow whatever it is that you're wanting to grow. Where this is just going to give you an idea. It's going to let you see trends over time, but it's most effective, in my opinion, for, like I said earlier, soil moisture level and alkalinity. If you're going to use this meter inside in your potted plants, you use it exactly the same way. That light setting is pretty important when you're inside, because you can check multiple times per day where you're thinking you might want to put a plant, and check its what kind of light level it's getting at morning, noon, and night. And it can be a good indicator for you if that's a good location for the plant or not. Same thing outside. If you're planting a flower garden or a vegetable garden, you can take measurements multiple times per day before you tear up your yard and put a garden in, to know exactly where you're going to be and from a light intensity perspective. So, a couple good uses of the meter. I think that about does it for the day. If you enjoy videos like this, or you got something out of this video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and we'll see you next time.